Greetings YouTube. Today I'm going to have a project where I want to take this bat, which apparently was some sort of promotional item from Navisite streaming media, and I'm going to convert it into a studded bat. So I'm going to take 16 of these, so I've got a bolt and a nut, and these are not attached to each other. And I'm going to drill 4 holes in this direction and 4 holes 90 degrees to that. And then I'm going to put 16 of these in those holes. And I'm hoping that it doesn't bottom out on me. Otherwise I'm going to end up having to grind off those tips. We'll find out. I think I've got them the right length. They shouldn't do that. So the first thing I got to do is lay out 4 holes. I probably want to come in 2 inches and then 2 inches. So I want to get into the barrel. I'd like to get right in here if I can. So that's the first thing I got to do. And there we go with all my holes drilled. I used a tape measure and marker to lay things out initially. Then I used my awl to leave an impression in the wood itself so that my drill bit would have something to sit in when the drilling started. And I used this heavy spike here to help me get this lined up vertically so I would have the best chance at doing these at 90 degrees, because I don't have a fixture for that. I'm just kind of eyeballing it as best I can. So this thing is just happens to be just approximately the same size as that hole. I got lucky. I happen to have a spike sitting around at that diameter, which will probably eventually end up in a very similar position inside of a baseball bat, something like that, somewhere at some point in the future, unless I think I've done something else to do with it. Any suggestions for projects that I could use my big spikes for? I've got 4 of them. Feel free to leave them in the comments. Okay, now that I've got all the holes drilled, and while I have this thing still in the fixture, I'm going to start putting in the lag bolts and nuts. And I'll do these 8 here first, then I'll rotate it and do the others. I don't have to worry about lining them up for that, but since it's already in this orientation, I'm just going to go with it. And there we go, folks. One post-apocalyptic Tetsubo. Now I could have gone with threaded rod and cap nuts, but they're far more expensive. Cap nuts are far more expensive than this solution, because each of these nuts here is 20 cents and each one of these bolts is 38 cents. So that's, 58 cents per stud. And that's fairly economical. If I had purchased cap nuts of the same size, it would have been considerably more money. Though I have contemplated doing a version where I use threaded rod and then use nuts to hold the rod in place and then have spike points on the other side, so that you end up with the same kind of staggered spikes. So instead of a Tetsubo, it would be more of a wolf's tooth club. So if anybody's interested in that kind of thing, tell me. And I guess technically, while this is supposed to be a field of streams as in data, I guess it would still be a field of streams, but in this case, it would be streams of blood. So now to go outside and take some still shots.